guys, good morning and welcome to the vlog. So right now we're filming another episode that's going to come out in 2 weeks. We're headed south, that's the only hint we'll give you. But I decided it's time to do a season 1 overview, kind of put some deleted scenes in from season 1 and stuff like that. Go ahead and start reading read the first bullet point.
Filming another episode coming out in 3 weeks.
Okay, I got that. So that's coming out in 3 weeks.
Filming this episode while episode 10 comes out.
Did that too?
Yep.
Oh yeah, never mind. So yeah, we're filming this to put in perspective of not how far behind, but today episode 10 of the season came out, so that kind of shows how far ahead we film. I think we're about 3 weeks, 4 weeks ahead. This one will come out a little bit more sooner though. I'll have to get it out in about 2 weeks. So really quick, I wanted to go over each vehicle in season 1 and what has happened to each vehicle. So the first one, so I got my buddy Elder Lyman here in the passenger seat. He's up and off and reading the bullet points, the cue card for this thing. But the first vehicle that was ever on the show was the 2006 Toyota Corolla, and that belongs to my buddy Gabe, good old Gabe. That car was basically the main vehicle of the channel because that's what we used to get around, to get to school, to get home from school. We used to go to my grandfather's to see him that one time. Sadly, that car came to its end in November of 2017 when it was totaled. So that's unfortunate. Next.
And the 1999 Toyota Corolla.
Alright, so now the 1999 Toyota Corolla, that also belongs to Gabe. But he owns that after he owned his 2006 Toyota Corolla, and he owned it while he owned the Corolla, and he owns the 06 Corolla after the 99. So the story with that car is his mom's girlfriend at the time was his mom's boyfriend was buying a car at the time, and he's like, oh, I'll give you $20 for your old car, and he was just joking around. Of course, it's like, oh, I'll give it to you. And so he gives it to him. He gives it to him for $20, and then this is kind of where his passion for cars started. It was with that 99 Corolla because one day he was driving to school, and I think it was his first time driving in snow. Teenagers in snow doesn't mix too well. So anyways, he went to hit the brakes, and the brakes locked up, and he smashed into a curb and bent his lower control arm. So that was that's kind of where it started, because he started working on it then, and eventually enlisted my help. So we replaced the lower control arm, and then he was having a few electrical problems. I was like, okay, let me check the fuses. Sure enough, one was popped, so I replaced it. And we did a few mods, a few cool things to the car, but the thing was a smoker. It went through like a quart of oil a week, I think. It had 244,000 miles on it. So Gabe was like, okay, I'll rebuild the engine. So replace the head gasket or whatever it was. So we went to start replacing it, and one of the head bolts stripped. So that was unfortunate for him, but he was able to make a profit off this vehicle. He sold the vehicle for about $300, so he made a huge profit off of it. Probably it was a $280 profit, so he got good there. All right, next vehicle.
It's a 2005 Hyundai Sonata.
All right, going on to the 2005 Hyundai Sonata. The first time you saw this car was in episode 5, where it's the one that I wasn't in, but it's Mitch's car. So that was the other main reliable vehicle on the channel. According to Mitch, that thing got crappy gas mileage. It was terrible. He loved that vehicle though. It was a good vehicle while it lasted. And then the only reason he sold it was because he went on his mission. And then, yeah, he has a different vehicle now, but that's a story for another time. Next.
The 1985 Buick Century Estate Wagon.
Oh yeah, the 1985 Buick Century Estate Wagon. That was my first car. That thing was a lemon. So the story with that, I've said it many times. Grandfather bought it, brand new, fresh from the factory, and then when our 96 Jimmy blew its transmission, my grandfather sold it to him for real cheap, and it had 66,000 miles at the time. My dad drove it until it had about 108,000. Then we got our Toyota Camry, and then that went into storage. 5 years later, I pull it out of storage and try to get it running. But then the heater core went out. I took the dashboard apart to replace the heater core, and I wasn't able to get it to go back correctly. And then the car started stalling and wouldn't do what it needed to. There was just lots of problems with this car, so I ended up selling it for about $130, which is like junkyard price. But I didn't send it to the junkyard. I sold it. I had it sold while I was on my mission to another gentleman, and then I'm sure they got that thing running and it's fine now. It's a good car, just needed a different owner, and it needed things that I couldn't give it. All right, next.
It's a 2005 Pontiac GTO.
Oh, the 2005 Pontiac GTO. So that vehicle is my grandfather's car. You actually saw it earlier in another episode of the. You actually saw it in an earlier episode this season, episode 2. That thing's still doing good. Yeah, my grandfather takes good care of it. It still has very low mileage. A good vehicle. Next.
1992 Oldsmobile Regency.
So the 1992 Oldsmobile Regency, that vehicle wasn't really ever on the channel, but with that, what happened to that vehicle is before it had been on the channel, like my 85 Buick Century, it had been having lots of computer problems. It'd been kind of a lemon lately, so my grandmother had decided that she had it. And so I think it was actually listed for sale when it was in that episode way back in season 1. So while I was on my mission, that vehicle was actually sold. All right, next.
The 66 Buick Electra.
All right, we'll talk about the 1966 Buick Electra and the 1967 Buick Riviera at the same time, because they're kind of a package deal since they're right next to each other in the garage. Nothing's really changed with that. You saw an episode of it running in this season, once again back in episode 2 of this season. That sounds better than it. Those two vehicles are doing very well. They're still covered in dust and they haven't moved. I've been trying to convince my grandfather for years to pull those out and drive them like for a summer, like rotate each one he drives, but he won't budge. So those two are doing well, and the 67 Buick Riviera is actually, you've got to have a few dream cars in case one doesn't go through, but that'd definitely be one of my dream cars. Next.
Next is the 95 Chevy Tower.
The 1995 Chevy Tahoe, that vehicle's doing good. My grandfather still owns it, and I was actually helping my uncle a few weeks ago to get it to his house and make some repairs on it. So my grandfather, he's not been doing too well lately, not on top of things as he used to be. He used to be like a master mechanic, well, not master mechanic, but he used to be like the ultimate Mr. Fix-It. Sorry, hiccup. He used to be the ultimate Mr. Fix-It guy. Alright, next.
Next is the 2008 Pontiac G8.
Alright, the 2008 Pontiac G8. So, that actually belongs to my aunt, but she's not doing, she hasn't been doing all too well over the past several years, enough said. So, my grandfather has been taking care of it for her. And that vehicle has actually been moved from my grandfather's property to my great uncle's property, because when I bought this vehicle, my grandfather was able to take it out of that garage, and then he shoved my aunt's G8 into the garage where this car used to sit. So that's the update with the G8. Not much is happening with it. It has only 15,000 miles on it, so it's a good car. Okay, next.
Next is the 03 Ford Ranger.
The 2003 Ford Ranger. You saw that back in season 1, episode 21. And in that episode, we took that truck and played hide and seek with it on a 173-acre property, and I ended up getting that thing stuck. While I was on my mission, I think it was around that time, maybe before my mission, I'm not sure. The engine finally gave out after like 350,000 miles, and it ended up blowing the engine down in Sacramento, which is like 114 miles from Los Molinos, where Seth lives. So his father just ended up taking all his belongings out of it, called a tow truck, and had it hauled off to the junkyard right from there. Didn't even take it to a shop. All right, next.
It's a 2000 Toyota Camry.
All right, the 2000 Toyota Camry. Nothing's changed on that. It has a bit of an oil leak. It's been up and down a lot this year, but the car has 235,000 miles on it, so what can you expect, really? It's a good car. We're gonna keep fixing it, keep wrenching on it. But that was actually the main car I drove back in season 1 when my Buick wasn't working. Next.
It's the 08 BMW 328X.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Ethan's 2008 BMW 328i. So his 328i, it's not really his, it belongs to his mom, but he's just driving it around until one of his siblings need the car, because since then his younger sister's gotten a car, so that's good. And then also his stepsister, when he got home, he didn't really have a vehicle because his stepsister needed it, but his stepsister got a car, so now he's just driving it until one of his other siblings get a driver's license, and then he'll go on and buy his own car. What he's been looking into is a Ford Focus hatchback. That's really what he wants. Okay, next.
Next is the 92 Mazda Miata.
The 1992 Mazda Miata, Gabe's third car. So what happened with that? You'll see. Either you saw the we'll cut to some footage of that soon. But that lasted for about 6 months, and then he blew the engine out of the thing. So he took the engine out and rebuilt it. That was actually supposed to be another episode back in season 1, but it never aired, and I never even filmed enough. So Ethan and I actually pulled the thing out of the car, and then Gabe rebuilt it. He put it back in, and then he blew the engine again. Because I guess he didn't do things to spec. He didn't get it like bored or anything like that. So he fixed it up, got the engine running good, and then he went on his mission. So after that, he sold the car. All right, is that the last vehicle? Is there any more?
That's the last of the vehicles.
Okay, what's the next bullet point?
It's an unused footage, Tony in the garage.
All right, so going into unused footage now. First one is just a clip of Tony and Gabe acting really weird. I don't know what the case was, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Joke's kind of on them, I guess. But we'll cut to that clip right now. So we're back at the Highland Ricers garage. Well, you guys have finally been reunited with part of the Highland Ricers crew. Yeah, come on, Gabe.
Anthony's back in the house, boy. He's back with the Ricers, the heck raising Ricers. Your nigga Anthony is up in here like you never seen before.
You have to admit that.
You running over a coolant bottle.
Oh yeah, this next clip, I totally forgot I had this footage. I forgot that I had the last footage too, but yeah, anyways, I was just, yeah, we'll cut to the clip. Hey guys, so I'm gonna test this thing, see what the matter is with it. So let's go. What the hell is that? Oh, I ran over a jug. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me, right? Next.
Unused Miata footage.
Alright, so this is the episode that never aired that I didn't get enough footage for, but this is the clip of us working on the Miata. Of course, Ethan wasn't here at this point. I think he showed up later, because Gabe and I worked on this over like a couple different days, and then I wasn't able to help him with the full build. He had to do that himself.
This is season 2, right?
Season 2. Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the vlog. The first vlog in about, how many months has it been? Like, last one was in January, now it's May. Please welcome to the vlog. I'm Taylor, that's Gabe, and we're working on Gabe's Miata, which started knocking, so he's pulling the engine. And he just hurt himself. So right now, he's trying to find a solution since the jack is too small, and it's kind of hard to pull the whole thing down. So we'll keep you posted. Gabe's under there. We finally got the car on the stands, and he's just trying to remove the bracket that goes around the driveline. So as for me, I'm gonna start putting together some of this engine jack stuff, like the engine stand, the shop crane, and he bought them from Harbor Freight. How about that?
First one is comment at RMR.
What, RMR? Yeah. I wrote that down, but I completely forgot what I was going to say on that. What was I going to say as far as RMR goes? We'll have to come back to that. Maybe I'll think of it later. What's the next bullet point?
Next one is Yeehaw Brother Clan.
Okay. Oh, that's what I meant. So, comments at RMR. So, anyways, what happened with this is at my high school, we had a bunch of fake rednecks who like thought they were all cool, but these rednecks were absolute jerks. They only seemed to care for each other, but you should care for your clan, but you should be nice to other people. But that wasn't the case. These guys were complete jerks. But anyways, we'll cut to this clip. You'll see what I mean. At least I wasn't stupid enough to block in the Yeehaw Brother Clan's trucks.
Hey, shut up. That was a good idea at the time.
Yeah. What happened with that clip is Gabe decided to mess with the Yeehaw Brother Clan. How that name came up was we were actually getting on the bus and heading back from Rocky Mountain Raceway back in episode 14, I think it was. No, episode 10, something around there. But anyways, we get on, and then all the rednecks are hanging out. Then this one guy, it was actually Jazz. He actually made a vlog about me and posted it. But he's like, oh, look at it, it's the Yeehaw Brother Clan. So anyways, they get on, and then a couple weeks later, it's like the last day of school. Gabe comes up to me, he's like, I need your help. You're good with rednecks because you're kind of a country boy. Can you go up and talk to the rednecks? He's like, okay, why? He's like, do you know how they kept puppy guarding spots? I was like, yes. He's like, well, they were puppy guarding spots, so I blocked their cars in, and then they took the rest of their trucks when they showed up and blocked my car in. So I went and talked to him, and then asked them to move it, and they're like, okay, who's the owner? And they kept asking over and over again, and I told them. And so they take a tow strap, hook one end of to their truck, and hook the other end to his car and drag it across the parking lots. And so, anyways, they start cursing us out afterwards after Gabe gets all pissed with them, because that was sure Gabe, yeah, it was a good idea at the time. Those rednecks need to be taught a lesson because they were such jerks. But for them to drag his car across the parking lot, that was completely uncalled for. So that's why I call them fake rednecks. But that's why you see this following clip.
What inspired Highland Ricers?
Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to go into is what inspired me to start the channel. I already told you the part where Gabe and I were just working on the car. I was like, hey, how fun would it be to start a YouTube channel? But there's two shows that really inspired me to start this thing. And one of them is Roadkill. So there's a couple of episodes in Roadkill. What were the 3 episodes of Roadkill that inspired me?
It was episode 23, episode 24, episode 13, and 14.
Okay, so episode 23 of Roadkill is episode 24 of Roadkill. That's the first one I ever saw. So in episode 24 of Roadkill, they take their 1967 Chrysler Camaro. It's David Freiberger and Mike Finnegan, and they have it towed to Indiana, and then they change out an engine in like 24 hours or something like that. And then they drive it all the way from Indiana back to California in the middle of winter. Keep in mind, 67 Camaro. In episode 23 of Roadkill, they have this 68 Dodge Charger that's just a rolling body, nothing. And they take a motorhome, chop it up, and take another car that they had raced in 24 Hours of Lemons in episode 22. And they take the parts from these two things. They take the engine from the motorhome, the transmission, and the differential from the race car, and they make a dirt cheap 1968 Dodge Charger. That thing was awesome. But yeah, those episodes of Roadkill were awesome. And also my other favorite episode is episode 13 and 14, when they fix up this 1968 Ford Ranchero, and they drive it from El Segundo, California, all the way up to Big Lake, Alaska to do ice racing. Which we're actually on one of the roads that they drove up to get to Alaska, because we're on I-15. So yeah, what's after that?
That's the 2 new shows coming to the channel.
2 new shows. I'll probably just do. So there's another show coming to the channel. Is that a comment in front of us? So there's another new channel. There's another new TV show coming to the channel. Maybe 2. I'm trying to decide whether if I should split the Ricers and the Rednecks into 2 groups. But another channel, another thing coming to the channel is going to be called Highland Gamers. Ethan showed interest back in episode episode 8 of Highland Ricers, saying that he wanted to start a YouTube channel, and he was going to do it off of video games. So he's going to get a game capture, but I think it actually be a good idea for Elder Lyman here. Well, he's not Elder Lyman anymore, but I think it'd be a good idea for Lyman here to join him and be his co-host, and then they can do challenges together and stuff like that. So it's going to. So the first episode of Highland Gamers is going to air in the first episode in the first week of January. So keep an eye out for that one. I'm kind of excited for that. We haven't even started filming that or planning it yet, but I do have an idea of what we will do. All right. But what's going to happen with the TV show is I'm planning on running this channel for about 10 seasons. We're finishing up season 2 now, and I'm going to run it for 10 seasons, and then from there I'll either decide to do more. We'll see what happens. I might do some more depending on the popularity of the channel, or I might end it. Every new year will start the beginning of a new season. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this upload. Oh no, it's not going to be it for this upload. Okay, another thing I want to do is my goal is to keep these videos 20 minutes. My goal is to keep these videos 20 minutes or less. I don't want to bore you guys with a 30-minute videos. I'm going to do my absolute best in the future to keep the videos at 30 minutes or less. This one will probably just be like a 10-15-minute video. Let me get past the semi. I gotta love I-15. I prefer I-80 way better. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please hit that like button and subscribe. Take care and have a nice day.